Hey everybody, welcome back. It has been like 6 months since I've made a video, but just because I stopped posting videos does not mean that I stopped working on my print-on-demand business or my Etsy shop. And that's one of the wonderful things about this, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But there have been a lot of changes and a lot of things going on. You know, life gets really busy. I work a job bartending. Had the holidays, which were crazy busy. Then I needed some time to recover from the holidays, which were crazy busy. And you know, life just kind of happens. Lots of personal things going on, but you know what? That's one of the cool things about this business. And like I said, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But even though I didn't spend a ton of time over the last several months working on my print-on-demand business or my Etsy shop, it does not mean that I haven't been doing some work. And I want to kind of bring you up to speed on some of the stuff that's been going on. So if you're new here, welcome back, or welcome. My name is Brandon. Here's the thing. I got let go from my job about a year ago, I guess, and been thinking about doing a print-on-demand business for quite some time, finally started it, and, you know, wanted to kind of document that journey here in real time. And so that's what Brandon Does POD is all about. Here's the thing. I'm not going to feed you a bunch of BS. I'm going to talk about real things, real numbers. I don't have a fancy microphone. I don't edit these videos. They're all done in one shot. It just is real talk and real numbers. And so you're not going to hear me say, here's quick 3 ways to make $50,000 this next month. I'm not going to tell you that I've done that, because I certainly haven't. Which I'm sure if you've started or have thought about starting a print-on-demand business, you've probably seen those YouTube gurus who do that stuff. Hey, I started my print-on-demand business and made $25,000 in my first 2 months. Not going to happen here. I hope that's true for those people, but this is just going to be some real talk in real time, and I'm glad you're here. So let me bring you up to speed. I think my last video was made in September, so I want to kind of share some real numbers with you about what the last several months have looked like and kind of talk about what that means. In September, my total sales for that month was just over $600. October, I had my best month ever in print on demand, where my total sales were around $872. $921. November took a little bit of a dip off, but it was still $826. December, $601. The seasonal holidays, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. The seasonal holidays are awesome. But you also need to have really great evergreen content. And so we'll talk about that in a second. January, you would kind of think would really drop off, but actually my January sales were higher than my December sales. I racked up a total of $763 in January sales. February, $559, and last month in March was a $348 month. So what do those numbers kind of tell me? Again, seasonal stuff matters. The big holidays, they really matter. You would expect things to kind of fall off a little bit in January, February, and March, which mine didn't in January, but certainly in February and March they did, which I'm certainly fine with. You would expect that because people have spent all their money in the holidays, and now we're back to, real life numbers, right? So even though I'm not making $50,000 a month or $10,000 a month or even $1,000 a month, I am making real money. And that is the key, right? When I started this journey, I wasn't looking for a get rich scheme. And I've talked about that a little bit before. I was just looking to make real money to pay real bills so that I could take some of the pressure off of my kind of real life job. And it has done that and continues to do that. I set some pretty modest goals. My goals really, actually, I just had one goal. My one goal was to make enough money to pay one bill. Okay. I have made enough now in the course of the last several months to pay more than one bill. And that's really, really great. So even though I'm not making, thousands of dollars, I am making real money, and you can do this too. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. So here's a couple of takeaways that I kind of want to share a little bit of some things that I've learned over the last several months to kind of get me back into the swing of kind of sharing the real-time journey of what's going on. Number one, and I think this is probably the most important thing that I would share with you, is that your shop, your business, your print-on-demand business, your Etsy shop, wherever, will continue to will do real work for you, even though maybe you are in a season of life where you're not able to do as much real work as you would like, or have the bandwidth to do that. Your shop is still going to do work. I made a video some months back where I said that print on demand is not a passive income model necessarily. That being said, if you go into a season of life where you have to be a little more passive, if you've done the work before that, it can be passive income for you. So what that means is this: you do the work, several months ago, and you get the listings up, and now you have life happen, and you need to take a step back, or maybe you can't put as much time into it. Those things that you've posted, the things on your shop, they will continue to passively work for you. I had 50 some odd listings, and life has kind of slowed down just a little bit for me, or actually life has gotten busy. My work on the shop has slowed down a little bit for me, but those listings continue to do work for me. And so that's important. Your shop will continue to work, even though maybe you don't have the ability to spend as much time as you want as well. This is not passive income in the sense that you can just set it and forget it, but it is passive in the sense that when life gets busy, it will continue to work for you. And now I'm in a season of my life where I can put more effort and time and energy into my shop, into my print-on-demand business, and it's going to continue to work for me. One of the cool things about this is I'm 1 year in, and I'm going to do a video about this a little bit later. I'm 1 year into my shop, and now the things that I posted a year ago are still working, and the things that I'm posting now are going to begin to work. And I'm just going to continue to double down on the listings, and they will continue to work for me year over year over year. That's number one. Number two, seasonal stuff, it does matter. The holidays were good. I leaned heavy into Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas heavily. And it paid off. It was wonderful. But here's the thing. Those holidays, those big months, quarter four, as the gurus call it, only comes around once a year. So you need to also have some really good evergreen listings that are going to continue to sell for you when the holidays are far away. My February and March numbers, although they haven't been great, have been evergreen listings that I created last year that continue to sell well for me. And so you need to spend some time thinking too, not just about the holidays that are coming up. I want you to lean into the holidays that are coming up. You should. Mother's Day's around the corner. 4th of July's around the corner. Pride Month. I lean heavy into Pride Month in June. And so you need to lean into those months, but you need to also have really great evergreen designs that will continue to sell when your monthly or when your holiday sales kind of take a dip back. And so don't ignore the evergreen stuff, the stuff that's always going to sell well for you all year long. Make sure you spend some time doing that in addition to what you're doing on the holidays. What else? Consistency. Consistency trumps perfection. I've also made videos talking about that. A listing that's live that, although maybe isn't perfect, is going to do better for you than a listing that is not live that you continue to wait to make perfect. Consistency over time is going to be your best friend. Get your listings up, get them live, get them working for you. You can always come back and tweak things or change things, but a listing that's not live or a design that is not live is not going to make you any money. So get that stuff listed and live, and then come back later when you have the time to tweak your listings or tweak your designs or whatever it is that you want to do. But consistency is always going to matter. I have not been consistent on this channel. I'm going to change that, but I have been consistent in my business, even if it just means showing up for 10 minutes a day, or 30 minutes in the course of a week, or whatever that looks like. The consistency is always going to be your best friend. Just small 1% increments are always going to help you over the course of time. So here is kind of what I'm thinking about what's next. What's next for me? Number one, as I mentioned, my shop is going to be a year old here this month. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this a little bit later. but my shop is going to be a year old. And so those listings that I made a year ago, they're going to continue to work for me. And I'm going to double down on what's working. I'm a huge advocate for looking at numbers and trends in your shop. So I'm going to continue to identify the things that are working. I'm going to lean heavy into those. And I'm going to continue to load the shop up with listings while I continue to let the listings from last year work for me. Okay, so I mentioned Pride Month. That's coming up in June. I have a lot of Pride designs, and I'm going to continue to make a lot of Pride designs so that this year, when June hits, I'm going to have twice the stuff I had last year. And that's going to continue. It's going to continue to compound. If you know anything about a savings account or an investment account, compound interest is your friend. I feel like the same thing is true in a print-on-demand shop. Your compound listings, your compound work is going to be your best friend. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to continue to post here more consistently. A couple videos at least a week, maybe some shorts. I would love for you to join in on that journey. But that's a commitment that I'm making, that I'm going to want to consistently post here to kind of share with you, again, in real time, what this journey looks like without all the fluff and the editing and the guru kind of BS talk. And then number three, with that, I'm going to show you everything. I want to show you what's working. I want to show you what's not working. I want to show you some of the hacks. I don't like that word. I'm going to show you some of the things I've stumbled into that are making my life easier, that are making me a little more successful month over month. I'm going to show you what's not working, right? Because what's not working is just as important as what is working. And I'm just going to continue to give you real talk about growing a print-on-demand business. So that's kind of where I'm at. I hope you've been well. If you are new here or if you haven't yet, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. I would love for you to hit the little notification bell so that you can see when new content comes on. And I would love for you to drop a comment and let me know what's going well for you, what's not going well for you, where are you at, what are you doing, what are you thinking about, what would you love to hear me talk about? All those kinds of things. So again, I'm grateful for you. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope wherever you are in the world, you're doing well. And, get out there. If you're sitting on the fence, it doesn't take much to get the ball rolling. Just do a little bit of work. One listing today is better than no listings today. So whatever that looks like for you, whatever your next step is, I encourage you to do that. And I hope you'll stick around for the journey. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll talk soon. All right. See y'all.